Well, I'm so glad to have you. I mean, this award is really, I think, significant. I've tracked and followed the winners for the last few years, and what I've learned is, Liberty and Safeco, particularly Safeco, is really themselves on the cutting edge of digital. In fact, they talk about being deeply digital, so very cutting edge. And so the people that they select, I know, are at the point of the spear, and that's you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's excellent. And, in reading your background, and I'd love you to share with our viewers and listeners just real quickly your background, because it's very unusual, both personally and also as you entered the insurance business, just a thumbnail sketch.
Yeah.
So, Majda, you have a really interesting life. In fact, your early life is fascinating, and your entry into the insurance industry as well. Would you just give us a thumbnail sketch about your background?
Absolutely. So I'm originally from Bosnia and Herzegovina, former Yugoslavia. My family escaped the war. We immigrated to Germany, lived there for a while, grew up there, and then we came to the United States. Coming to the United States, we came straight to Utah. It was a huge culture shock for me, being a teenager coming from the European lifestyle into, Utah, Salt Lake City, and especially because Salt Lake City back then was a lot more reserved even than it is now. It's changed a lot over the years. And at that time when we first came here, I really was eager just to kind of get out and explore the United States. Even being that young, I couldn't wait. I was counting down the days to be old enough to just be able to move somewhere else and see what that's like. So I ended up moving to Las Vegas, and I lived there for a while. I lived in Los Angeles for a while, and when it came time to open up my office, I came back to Utah to base it here since my family's here, and this is kind of like my base. So I came, when I first started in insurance, I found the job on Craigslist to become a secretary in an office, and I was lucky enough to have a great boss who is still my mentor today. He really pushed me to take the licensing, pass the licensing exam and things, and get into insurance. And being that English was, I learned English when I came to the United States, and English is my fifth language. It was really difficult for me at the time when I first got started. And I know that, the average person passes the test first, second, third try, but it took me 7 tries. And it took a lot of persistence and hard work to get there. But I'm so glad that I, achieved, that I passed the test and that I got the license, and it's turned out to be something really great. Having lived in Vegas for a while, I actually lived at the city center on the Strip, and that put me into a really interesting crowd of people. A lot of my clients even today are based off of the connections that I built at that time. So I deal with all kinds of people, your average person or your high school graduate going into college, to then through my Las Vegas relationships, very high net worth clients who, some of them have a net worth of, 700 million plus, because they're entrepreneurs and have multiple companies, investors, and that kind of thing. And I've got some friends and clients who are celebrities, and I've got other industry people, and just, lots of real estate connections and that kind of stuff. So my career has led me, I would say, through every type of community that you can imagine. And I'm really thankful for the experience and the friendships I've built along the way.